Sorry guys, you gotta give me, I'm trying to fix the color and everything, with the camera. I messed it up. But long story short, give me about, another few weeks or so and all this stuff in the background, especially these old ass wood panels are gonna be gone. But anyway, I'm gonna do my best to explain this world, what is it called again? This World Boxing Super Series, which is a $50 million per year for the next 3-year tournament. It's going to involve 2 weight divisions. We don't know what the weight divisions are yet, but the weight divisions, from my understanding, or what they should be, or what's logical, or what's a logical assessment, is going to be weight divisions that involve the least amount of politics. Now, in this tournament, there are going to be 16 fighters from each of those 2 weight divisions. We don't know what the weight divisions are yet. 16 fighters. Those fighters have to be ranked in the top 15 of the WBC, WBO, IBF, and WBA. It's a 3-year tournament. It's starting in September of this year, 2017. It's going to be, it says, here's what it says. Winners are to receive the greatest prize in boxing, the Muhammad Ali Trophy. Total prize money in Season 1 is $50 million. So that's just Season 1. That means that, what's that? If they're saying it's going to be, it says KO tournament to kick off in September of 2017, featuring 2 weight classes with 16 boxers, setting up 14 total fights on 14 separate fight nights. So putting that together, 14 separate fight nights is, well, what networks are they going to be on? You feel me? What's 16 boxers? You feel me? Now, 16 boxers, as you know, with the bracket style, there's going to be 8 in one bracket, 8 in another bracket. Who's going to be in this tournament? You have to think that if they came up with this tournament right now, Richard Schaefer, former CEO of Golden Boy Promotions, he's the chairman of this company. Second in command, from my understanding, is Sarlin Promotions, who is a German-based, promotional company with names like George Groves, Kubret Pulev, Jack Kouquet, who just fought Demetrius Andrade is under them, Mikhail Kessler was under them, and so on. And then there's from my understanding, the people who are the financial backers, this Camosa AG, which is a Swiss registered company with principal owners from the world of marketing, Highlight Event and Entertainment, Broadcasting, Modern Times Group, and Boxing Team Sarlin. So basically, they have a lot. I mean, this is $50 million a year. Now, just this year, we don't know that if the next, tournament for this one coming up is 2017, 2018. The next one is going to be 2018, 2019. You dig me? And then 2019, 2020. So we don't know what the budget is going to be going forward, depending on if this is a success or not. Now, at the kickoff press conference, they had Steven Espinoza there, who is the Showtime. He's the executive for Showtime. So basically, of course, him and Richard Schaefer are tight. If you don't know, they're close. And Richard Schaefer, from my understanding, if I can remember correctly, was one of the main reasons why this Steven Espinoza guy got the job with Showtime. Of course, that's just what the rumors were. But now, oh, by the way, if you want to read the full article, and get the details, there's also a video associated with it. The video is right here on the channel. And if you want to see the actual press release, the full information from what they've given us so far, go down to and click the link that says FightView360.com, my website, and you'll see you'll scroll down on the website and you'll see the actual press release. In fact, what I'll do is I'll put the link to that story directly in the description box. So of course there's going to be this money. Now, from my understanding, from my math, that's going to be about $4 million, per event or something like that out of that $50 million. About $3.5 million or something like that. When it comes to that $50 million, whatever the case may be, you don't know how much there's going to be. Let me see. There's going to be 3 different rounds, if I'm correct. Let me check this out real quick. 1 minute. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 rounds. The quarterfinals. There's going to be a draft. Okay. Now the draft, as the press release says, is supposed to include, names, reputable names in like boxing. I guess, people like maybe just throwing some names out there, Sugar Ray Leonard, or Mike Tyson. We don't know who their panel's going to be. So as soon as we find out who their panel's going to be, I'm going to make sure to give you that news. So there's going to be a draft, right? The way the quarterfinals is set up, there's 4 fights, 8 fighters. It goes by seed 1 fights a fighter who's unseeded. Seed number 4 fights a fighter who's kind of like the NBA playoffs, And then the second round is the semifinals, where there's going to be 2 fights, and then the third round, which is the final, is going to be 1 fight, and then the winner wins a lot of money, which probably will be above about $5 million or so. We don't know, just speculation. And this sick-looking ass Muhammad Ali trophy. So this is a high-profile tournament. This is not like the Super 6. This actually has a lot of money behind it, and also, since Richard Schaefer is involved, I'm going to expect that it's going to be organized. And one thing you may say is, well, how is the political bullshit in boxing going to, interfere with this? And will the boxers actually be able to, will Bob Arum allow his fighters in that tournament? Will Golovkin be in that tournament? For one, we don't know what the weight divisions are yet. So I'm guessing that they're going to play it safe. You see what I'm saying? As far as making sure it's a weight division that doesn't involve too much political, bullshit. I would say a division like 168, and maybe like, I don't know. But another thing you have to think is, that Haymon fighters are going to be involved in this. So no telling what Haymon has been telling his fighters, going forward to say, hey, listen, PBC is not doing as well as we thought it would do, but imagine if it's PBC World Boxing Super Series. You see what I'm saying? So this is actually a good thing for PBC and PBC fighters and Al Haymon if depending on how much they're involved in this. But from what we can understand and what we know about the relationship between Haymon and Richard Schaefer, and they've put on many fights together in the past, as you know, and they've been putting on fights together, since Richard Schaefer's been back with his new Ringstar Promotions. And remember, he's also aligned with David Haye. You can only imagine that Haymon fighters are going to be heavily involved in this tournament. So I say this: you may think, well, how are they going to get these fights made? I have a feeling that they've probably already been negotiating these fights. I mean, they're set to launch in September. We're in March, going into April. So they got to have fights and everything already lined up, or more so, they got to have, these fighters ready for the draft. So still, there's so many things that we need to know and understand. That we need to know in order to understand how this is going to work. But I like the idea. But from what I know about boxing, I know that Richard Schaefer has a bad reputation, whether he's still that way or not, of not really working with other fighters. You see what I'm saying? So it's cold as shit. My bad. I don't know why I said that. Fucking fireplace, man. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this to you as fast as I can and as clear as I can, for those who don't want to click the link down in the description box. Okay, so it's called the World Boxing Super Series. Also, there's a website for it. The website is set to launch on March the 31st, which I'm sure is going to include some more details. So I'm going to read this. Camosa AG are pleased to announce the launch of the World Boxing Super Series, a revolutionary bracket-style elimination tournament featuring the world's best boxers and a total of $50 million in prize money. The winner will receive the greatest prize in boxing, the Muhammad Ali Trophy. Winners to receive the greatest prize in boxing, the Muhammad Ali Trophy. Total prize money in Season 1 will be $50 million. KO tournament to kick off in September 2017, featuring 2 weight classes with 16 boxers setting up 14 total fights on 14 separate fight nights, which means 14 dates, and that means networks have to televise these fights. You dig me? Partners from the world of boxing, marketing, and broadcasting are behind the project. The World Boxing Super Series will change the world of boxing, says Robert DiMaggio, Camosa's head of management board. The tournament will set new standards, ensure coherent storylines, and provide top-class boxing throughout the year. It is Camosa's ambition to turn the World Boxing Super Series into the world's biggest boxing tournament. The tournament will be organized by the newly founded Camosa AG, a Swiss registered company, Richard Schaefer, Swiss, by the way, to put that out there, a Swiss registered company with principal owners from the world of marketing, highlight, event, entertainment. I got to look them up, so next time we do a video, I can explain exactly who they are, because these are the people who are the money behind the tournament. Broadcasting, Modern Times Groups, and Boxing Team Silent, their promotional company, as I talked about earlier. The tournament, the first of its kind, will kick off in September 2017. It will be taking place on an annual basis. The inaugural season, Season 1, of World Boxing Super Series will feature 2 weight classes, 16 fighters, and a total of 14 main events. In each weight class, 8 boxers will battle out in a bracket-style elimination tournament with 4 quarter-final fights, 2 semi-final fights, and 1 final fight. This makes for 7 top fights per weight class, and a total of 14 fights in Season 1 to be staged in premier venues around the globe. An expert panel, this is what I was talking about, an expert panel will invite the world's best boxers, namely the top 15 ranked fighters of the 4 big federations, WBC, WBA, IBF, and IBO. Matthew Hooper, Executive Vice President of Modern Times Group, said the fighters can earn a lot of money in the World Boxing Super Series and also prove that they are number 1 in their division. We will set out a clear and consistent schedule and stick to it. That's easier said than done, though. We're just going to have to see. The 8 quarterfinals, 4 in each weight class, will take place in September and October of 2017. The 4 semifinals scheduled for January and February 2018. The 2 finals will then go down in May. So basically, whoever's in this tournament, you have to have 3 fights if you're going to win the tournament. You're going to have to fight in September, October, January, February, and then the finals will be in May. This is crazy. You know, I want to see how they're going to do it. Camosa is proud to announce a new cooperation with the family of the greatest boxer of all time, Muhammad Ali, and we are delighted to honor his legacy with this tournament, said Khalid Solomon, Camosa's chief boxing officer. Whoever emerges as the winner of the World Boxing Super Series will rightfully receive the greatest prize in boxing, the Muhammad Ali Trophy. That trophy is sent. Added Richard Schaefer, Camosa's chairman of the Americas, I have been involved in the sport for a long time, and boxing has really been missing a big tournament like the World Boxing Super Series. Every major sport has one. This is a fascinating project, and I'm thrilled to be involved. The quality of the people behind this tournament ensures that it will be a success. That is true. That's why we got to find out who these Modern Time Group is, and that other people is to see, you know, what their money is. The weight classes for the inaugural. Didn't we already read this? The weight classes for the inaugural season of the World Boxing Super Series, as well as the respective participants, will be announced at the Draft Gala, a live televised kickoff event in June of 2017. So in June of 2017, they're having a draft. To avoid each other in the quarterfinals, the top 4 fighters will be seeded. During the Draft Gala, they will pick the quarterfinal opponents. Camosa will partner up with boxers, promoters, and managers from around the world in accordance with the 4 major world boxing federations, creating a new platform for the sport to thrive on. Camosa has signed an agreement with MP and Silva, which is an exclusive sales agent of World Boxing Super Series for the next 3 seasons, 2017-2018, 2018-2019, and 2019 going into 2020. On a worldwide basis, excluding USA and Scandinavia. The rights will be available for international territories on all broadcast platforms, including digital and OTT formats. So basically, to summarize that shit, they're basically saying that, you know, they're going to make it so that you'll be able to see these fights everywhere, even on your phone to a certain extent. Alongside action-packed fights, there will be an extensive TV and online programming produced for fans around the globe. More information will be announced in due course. This is interesting. So once again, like I said, we got to see how PBC is involved in this. But if you really decipher what this shit is, and like I said, read it for yourself, this shit is interesting. You may once again ask yourself, well, how are they going to get these boxers involved? You have to think they're having a draft in June. So they got to already know ahead of plan, like, well, Danny Garcia, you're going to be in this tournament. So imagine, right? You can have championship fights that are also a part of this World Boxing Super Series. So not only could these fighters be making the purses for the actual fight, but actually it's crazy if it works. It's crazy. in a good way. So I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live of FightView360.com. I'm back full time. We're going to be doing 3 to 5 plus videos a day. And it's going to take a little while to get numbers back up. A couple months or so. But, you know, we're back. TstreeT Controversy, TstreeT Controversy Live.